after discovering that his details had already been captured in the system, yet he had never registered before.
Nilipoenda kituoni kila wakiverify details zangu zinasema mwaka huambatani. So ikabidi niende ofisini. Kufika ofisini wakiangalia ID yangu iliregistriwa na mtu ambaye yuko Garissa. Sura ni Msomali lakini majina kamili yote ni yangu, ID number ni yangu, lakini sehemu ya kupiga kura si zangu.
Kioko, who once enrolled at NYS Center in Bura, Tana River County, explains that he has never stepped in Garissa County. Surprisingly, details from the Iebc registration portal shows he is a registered voter from Kone ECD Polling Center in Jarajara, Balambala constituency, Garissa County.
Tambulisho changu nilichukua mwaka 2016. Sijai register. Kura ya kwanza sikupiga. Nilikuwa nafanya NYS, so sikuweza kujiandikisha. After huko sasa hindo ilikuwa mwaka wangu wa kwanza nilikuwa nataka kujiandikisha. Lakini nikienda kuangalia napata mambo ni tofauti vile nilivyokuwa natarajia. Kama iko uwezekano wao kushughulikia, kwa sababu kama mimi imenitendekea najua wako wengine pia waende waangalie, kwa sababu samaki moja hawezi kuwa amekufa peke yake baharini. Wako wengi. Sijaipiga kura. Ndo mwaka wangu wa kwanza nilikuwa nataka kupiga kama kijana Gen Z. Tujitokeze tuseme tuko kadi, lakini kadi yangu naona ni kama ilitangulia kabla ya mimi.
During Thursday's media briefing by Iebc, the commission was quick to dismiss when NTV sought to find out how the anomaly occurred and whether the same has been rectified. The commission appeared hostile.
However, please, let's not go into those. We know that particular case that happened in Mombasa, and we ask the gentleman, come to our offices. We will look at the systems and it will be resolved. However, please, we ask the gentleman, one of our commissioners is handling that case.
Maurice Kioko's case might not be the only one. On April 21st, Embakasi West legislator Mark Mwenje sought a statement from the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee of Parliament to know why some newly registered voters from his constituency have details showing they are voters in Garissa and Wajir counties, yet they don't come from those regions.
Concerns have been raised that during the ongoing verification exercise, several registered voters within Nairobi City County have allegedly been assigned polling stations outside Nairobi, with some reflected as registered voters in Garissa County. This development raises serious concerns regarding the integrity, accuracy, and credibility of the voters' register. Such irregularities, if confirmed, have the potential to undermine public confidence in the electoral process and may occasion disenfranchisement of voters who are unable to access their designated polling stations. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs on the following. 1, the veracity of the allegations regarding the transfer of voters from Nairobi City County to Garissa County and the extent of the affected voters.
On what Honorable Mwenje has raised, I am a bit lost on what impact does it have, because every citizen has a right to transfer.
You're out of order. Any citizen can register to vote anywhere. What Mwenje is asking is illegal transfer, not legal transfer. So you don't have to interrogate that. When do you bring a response? If you listen to him, he said, people are finding themselves involuntarily transferred to vote elsewhere. Isn't that what Mwenje you said? Yes. If anybody is involuntarily transferred, DK, that's an illegality.
Something was brought to my attention that there are voters in Embakasi West and Embakasi Central. Now, West is my constituency. That these people, when they register as voters, they are being registered in northeastern constituencies. So that issue was even raised by the MCA for for South B. Waithera, she raised it at first, and I saw it, and I decided to investigate first because I'm a lawyer by profession, so I want to have facts. So I decided to go to the ground. Now, as politicians, we push people, can you go and register, go and register. Now, some of those youths have come back to me and I've gotten where they are registered as voters. So I have the facts with me here. You find somebody in a polling station, such as one of mine, which is called Dr. Mwenje Secondary School. That's a polling center. The individual goes there to register as a voter, but ends up in a constituency in Garissa. You go, you find another one, they end up in a constituency in Wajir. And all these things were happening in Embakasi West and Embakasi Central. So once I've gotten quite a number of them, is why I had to bring and raise a statement. My assumption is somebody who lives there, I am the one, together with other, even with aspirants and other people, we are pushing these people to register. Why would somebody be going to register as a voter? You live in my constituency, but you register to vote in a very far-flung polling center in Balambala constituency or Ijara constituency. It doesn't make sense. So that is where, now once I'd gotten a pattern, and I discussed with my colleague from Embakasi Central, the Honorable Major Donk, he also told me he's noticed the same pattern.
The Member of Parliament is armed with several cases he wants the poll agency to come clean on. For purposes of data privacy, NTV will only mention one name. Kimani registered at Dr. Mwenje Center. His polling station now reads Dibe Mobile, Danaba Ward, Wajir North constituency. Muteru has been listed as a voter at Bula AP Polling Center, Ijara Ward, Garissa County. Mungai is indicated as a voter at Siklei Polling Center, Danyere Ward, Balambala constituency, Garissa County. Kigia's polling center is Bula AP, Ijara Ward, Ijara constituency, Garissa County. Mweni has been registered as a voter at Ijara Livestock Market Polling Center, Garissa County.
What I want Iebc to do is to give us these details. You see, I already have mine. I actually, that's what I was looking at my phone. I actually have individuals, yeah? A gentleman here called Sam Nimrod Kimani. He registered at Dr. Mwenje. Now he's found himself in Wajir North, a polling center known as Dibe Mobile. I think that's what it's called. Yeah. When I inquired from the Member of Parliament, he told me this is one of the farthest corners. So even the members, I want to thank the members of Parliament from Northeastern, because once I've raised it, they've come to me, some of them, and they've told me, Mwenje, what is this you're talking about? I'm telling them, people from Nairobi are being registered as voters, and I start showing them some of these names. There's a gentleman here called Christopher Muteru. He was taken to Ijara, and the polling center is Bula AP dispensary. When I spoke to the MP for Ijara, he told me, this is a very far-flung center. Who has taken him there? And this individual lives in my constituency. Yeah? I have another one here, Moiro Mongai. He was taken to Balambala. I spoke to the MP from Balambala. His name is Shuri. I'm asking him, now, just check this. So he tells me, I don't know who these people are. Why are they registering in those areas? And I'm telling him, if these are people who are working there, and you'd know the people who maybe have come to Nairobi to work and then go there. These are people who live in my constituency. They are youths that have picked, and they're the ones who are giving me these dates. So you can see I have quite a number. Abraham Kegia, he's been moved to Ijara as well. Ken Mweni will move to Ijara Livestock Market Polling. So they've given me the details already. So I already have close to 20 or 26 cases that I've gotten.
What raises eyebrows is why the 5 who registered in Embakasi West have found their details, mainly in Garissa County and Balambala constituency, just like Maurice Kioko.
There is no coincidence here. When I've gotten this number of cases, and my colleague in Embakasi Central has gotten that kind of case, and you're finding it there, it means there's somebody deliberately doing this intentionally, moving these votes to the Northeastern region. So it is not a coincidence. It is deliberate. I have a case. Last week, we were issuing bursaries. Right? Usually when we issue bursaries, we consider those people who are registered in our constituencies because the dynamics of Nairobi, and those are the people we prefer. Yet, when I was doing that process, there is a lady that I met from Molem Ward, my constituency, who, when she goes on the portal, her details come out as that she has double registration as a voter. Now, this is a lady that I know. She had her original ID. She lives in Molem. But when she goes onto the portal, the Iebc portal is saying she's registered twice. How can that be? She didn't get a chance to vote in 2022 because of that issue. Now, I've sent her to the Iebc office to try get that issue sorted. And it still hasn't been sorted, but we're still following up with our returning officer. But those cases are there. These people that I've read have nothing to do with Northeastern. In fact, and they are young people. The Gen Zs don't have the rural. Even me, I'm born here in Nairobi. But more so for the Gen Zs, this is where they've been born and brought up. So if they're in Nairobi, they're in Nairobi. But if they go to their rural areas where maybe their parents or grandparents come from, these people would go to Central. I think there's one, Kambani. So I know where they would go. So when you find them in such areas, you ask them, have you ever even visited that constituency? They don't even know where it is.
In July 2025, Wajir County woman representative Fatuma Jeho kicked a storm when she made sensational claims in the presence of ranking government officials regarding the 2027 presidential election. Almost similar comments had been repeatedly made by controversial Kapsaret Member of Parliament Oscar Kipchumba Sudi.
Sisi maneno yetu ni mafupi tu. Tunasema tu two term. Ama kuna maneno ingine? Two term. Sio? Si tunaongojea tu debe iletwe hata kama tutakuwa na votes tutamuibia. Hiyo si siri.
Tutawanyorosha asubuhi na mapema ndio muende ICU sasa. Wacha hiyo na kura tutajaza. Hii kura hii tutajaza. Usijali, kura itajaa.
Remember, we vote using our biometrics, but there is also a provision that in case your biometrics don't work, we go to the manual register and the ID. It means if you are very sure that this young person will not be there to vote, then somebody can manipulate it. It is a very serious issue because people have come out to register as voters. You've seen the numbers, especially here in Nairobi. We are leading. We'd like to think that Iebc is doing a good job, that the youth have come out, this time and give them a chance to express themselves on the ballot. And then you can imagine if they find themselves that they cannot vote. Imagine the disappointment these youths would have and the chaos that you could cause for us. So it is something of concern. And I've also had other members of parliament now start raising the same issue.
Now, Iebc surely, you can't keep quiet with all these, happenings. It actually means that the staff, even though Marajan left, that secretariat of Iebc needs thorough overhaul.
There is somebody who is liable. There is a secretariat that is permanent at Iebc, and there is the temporary staff. I don't believe that some of these young temporary staff would play along to this situation.
During the Isiolo South parliamentary by-election held on 26 February 2026, the returning officer, Abdi Sheikh, cancelled Garbatula polling station results over 100 vote Kim's discrepancy.
And then I take you to see, disregard the results of the account of a polling station where the total votes exceeds the total number of voters who turned out to vote in that polling station. And for this reason, I, the returning officer, hereby declare that the results for Garbatula Day Primary School Station 1 of 1 hereby invalidate the results for this polling station.
The commissioner supervising that by-election was Hassan Nur, who was swift to downplay the matter, despite its seriousness.
It doesn't taint credibility of an election. As you know, sometimes you find the staff are heavily fatigued, and they are bound to make human error. So we are looking at the results, because all along the results, as posted at different times of the day, is very consistent. It's absolutely consistent. It's just that one number that is creating the confusion. And we are looking in depth into this matter. And up to now, we have not yet pinpointed whether there was any ill motive towards this error.
The issue that happened in Isiolo South, it actually is similar to what happened in Venezuela. And these companies, Mathematic has been, they have been indicted in so many places, in the Philippines, in Venezuela. Trump has been complaining because his company does not use the names Mathematic when they went to the USA.
The contest was between two children of the late Member of Parliament Mohamed Tubi, whom they were seeking to succeed. The son running on the ruling UDA party won against the sister, who was a Jubilee candidate. On 15th March 2026, NTV in a tell-it-all interviews laid bare the elaborate scheme assembled by government's deep state to swindle late Raila Odinga his December 2007 presidential election victory, the stolen ballot. In that explosive expose, one of the star witnesses, media mogul SK Macharia, who confessed his role in the mess, had claimed that there is no legit voter register and what IEBC owns is fake, prevailing upon President William Ruto to ensure there is a new voter register in place before the next general election, a matter the IEBC boss has dismissed.
We went to Naivasha to plan for the election of Raila as a candidate. Again, remember, it is Uhuru against Raila, and I'm campaigning for Raila. And at Naivasha, I tried to explain that the register that is going to be used has fake. I tried to convince Raila that the voter register that is going to be used is not proper, and they should give it to us, even if we are going to be his agents and organize the agents. He didn't think so, and because of the handshake with the Uhuru, he thought it is a free flow. Just for jokes, 2022 election comes. It's Raila against Ruto. They were saying we have deep states, and Ruto would tell them which deep states you have.
Why have we not gone to State House when we have actually won the elections through votes? This is because there is something which we were missing. And that's something which we were missing is called system. Some people are saying system is not important, but system is very important. And now we are with Uhuru Kenyatta, who is holding the system. So if the system plus our votes, which are always more than the others, what else? What else do we need?
Tunatishiwa ati iko system, ati iko deep state, ati iko watu watatuibia kura. Hata mkipiga kura namna gani, kuna watu wameketi mahali fulani wataamua. Mimi nataka niwaambie, hawa watu tunawangojea. Hiyo deep state tunangojea, na hiyo system tunangojea.
But these 4 commissioners that will resign in the end or were fired, they came to my house and I showed them how the register is not true. But that's how, obviously, again, and you remember Musando, that's how the votes have been put in. And now I come to 2022 election, whereby I try to convince later that the voter register that is going to be used is not proper, and they should give it to us, even if we are going to be his agents and organize the agents. He didn't think so, and because of the handshake with the Uhuru, he thought it is a free flow. Just for jokes, 2022 election comes. It's Raila against Ruto. They were saying we have deep states, and Ruto would tell them which deep states you have, because Ruto knew exactly how the extra votes will be put it doesn't matter. You know, I'm 82 years. If I get kidnapped or hijacked, 84. It doesn't matter.
And all these other issues, we were not there, so we cannot verify those kind of allegations. So we'll treat them as allegations that are not substantiated.
The new sheriff in town distancing his team from the sins of the past commissions.
You learn from your history and the past mistakes. You cannot sweep that under the carpet. But how you use those lessons moving forward is the most important part.
Immediate former Attorney General Justin Bidan Muturi claims while in Mombasa presiding over his final National Assembly leadership retreat with parliamentary journalists on Friday, 13th May 2022, he received a call from then Deputy President William Ruto asking him to imperatively fly to Nairobi for a critical meeting at his current official residence, 2 days before naming of his running mate. Upon arrival late afternoon, Muturi claims he was kept waiting for over 2 hours and was ready to leave since it was getting dark when his host emerged.
So, in the course of discussion, he told me, actually, the reason I did not come out immediately is because I was meeting those 3 gentlemen. So I asked him which ones. That's when he told me there in the main house was holed up in a meeting with Chepkati, Professor Gulie, and Commissioner Bolu Molu. Currently is a commissioner of Public Service Commission. Of course, Gulie now is an advisor to William Ruto. Our friend, the late Chepkati, I think he got his reward when the wife was appointed the chairperson of the Commission on Revenue Allocation. So, so everything fits in quite well. And so when he told me he was meeting them, I said, oh, that's great. I told him, actually they are the only ones who have now some what you would call reasonable experience in matters Iebc, because the other lot and come in quite late. The famous Cherera 4.
So,
and he was, I could see he was very excited. He's very excited about the meeting. The story. When he was telling me that, and I was telling him that, I was telling him these ones are the ones now actually who form the core of the commission.
It's also in public information now, they have also parted ways.